Was it really that easy to go from someone who stumbles upon this idea to becoming a developer for the project?
Yeah, well, I guess it took a couple weeks to research this stuff or more. But yeah, Satoshi gave me right away gave me access to the SourceForge, bitcoin.sourceforge.net page, which was empty at that time. Open source contributors are usually valuable, so better be accommodative.
And for people who don't know, before Bitcoin was on GitHub, it was on SourceForge.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone still maintains that repository on SourceForge, but it's interesting how this all started. So it took you 2 weeks to go from someone who first discovered Bitcoin to coding for it. But do you remember what was your first contribution to the project?
Well, actually, he first asked me to do FAQ and some texts for the website and stuff like that. Then later I set up the forums. You can read our email exchange, which you can find it on my Twitter, for example. There's a lot of exciting discussion about WordPress configurations and whatever CMS or forum software we used. So that's what I did first. And during the summer of 2009, I also got the code compiled on my computer and started making some minor UI features, mostly like minimize the tray, and start on system boot, so more people would stay online and keep the network running. And also worked on the Linux port, although Satoshi did some of that as well.
That's interesting because I've spoken with Brian Bishop, and he told me that he found out about Bitcoin because he was on the mailing list. And when he saw it's on Windows, he was like, oh, this is a piece of crap. Why would anyone want to build the future of money on Windows? And he didn't actually get involved until there was a proper Linux port. So I guess you're important in this regard because you got a lot of people involved when Bitcoin came to Linux.
I hope so.
Oh, you know so, because it's empirical evidence.
Yeah, and I needed it for my own server because I wanted to build, and later I did build an exchange service, bitcoinexchange.com, where I needed this API to create Bitcoin payment addresses. So it was not like an order book style page. It was basically just me buying and selling with automated pricing, but it was not very profit oriented. I didn't want to go through the hassle of accounting and paying taxes, so I didn't want to take any profit from the business or the venture or whatever. So I just had some automated pricing script, and I ended up having 30,000 Bitcoin less when I ended the exchange than when I started it.
At the time, how much was 30,000